The CRF1100L, the new Africa Twin, not exclusive to the Tokyo Motor Show. We've already seen it online, but here I'm finally seeing it in flesh and I really like it. I was a little apprehensive about the design, I was a little polarized, but let me tell you, here in flesh, the bike looks really nice, and it's not on its main stand. That is why it's looking that short. When it will be up on its main stand, it will be as tall as the Africa Twin that we've come to know so far. Of course, the visor is smaller, so the overall height will not be that tall, but the bike, it looks massive, it looks huge. I think it looks quite nice. Now, the heart of the matter, the 1100cc engine, that is up on power, that is up on torque, so that's definitely good news. And then there is a lot of new electronic stuff that we always wanted. Cruise control is finally here, and the TFT display has Apple CarPlay. They should have called it Bike Play, but doesn't exist. So Apple CarPlay, you get that. That was stuff that Honda introduced on the Gold Wing at the previous Tokyo Motor Show, and here now we have it on the Africa Twin, and I think that's a good news again for tourers, adventure riders, and all of that. Speaking of touring and adventure riding, that's the other one that I'm really interested in. I'm not sure if Honda is going to bring it to India or not. They didn't bring the previous Adventure Sports edition of the Africa Twin to India. I really hope they do with this, because this is the one with the bigger goodies. Bigger tank to begin with, also gets electronic front suspension, and you also get those cornering lights that you see under the headlights. And then there's a host of new accessories that Honda has added to all of this. So overall, I think they look really good. If you have been on the fence like I was about its design, well, it does really look nice in flesh. It is not all that polarizing. In fact, it looks like a proper evolution of the Africa Twin that we've come to like so far. The headlamps now get these new daytime running lights. The new digital instrumentation, it's not switched on right now, but the top section is the TFT, gives you all the additional information that you need, whereas the vitals are on that little display at the bottom. The top screen also gets Apple CarPlay like I mentioned, and guess what? It's standard on this new motorcycle. The standard red and black color scheme now comes with this red subframe, and it's a bolt-on subframe. You can see the bolts right here, which means that if you were to bend it, break it with your off-road excursions, it's easier to fix. This is the new exhaust system, and of course the new engine. The 1100cc engine puts out more power and torque now, and this right here is the one with the dual clutch transmission, and that is what will come to India. Sadly, the base model still doesn't get tubeless wire spoke wheels. That's something that all of us were looking forward to, but unfortunately it hasn't made it to the new motorcycle. Moving on to the Africa Twin Adventure Sports. Now this is the big daddy, of course, in the Africa Twin lineup, and like I said, it comes with those same headlamps, but you also get these cornering lamps. The engine, its tuning, its configuration, all of that remains the same for the Adventure Sports or this touring version, and this one also gets the dual clutch automatic transmission, and I really hope that they bring this bike to India. The important upgrade is the inclusion of tubeless wire spoke wheels on the Adventure Sports version. So compared to the standard bike, the Adventure Sports version certainly looks larger with its larger tank, and what you also see here is the set of accessories that have been put on the motorcycle. You can see the guards, the auxiliary lights, the panniers. The panniers have been redesigned. They're different than what you had previously on the Africa Twin. There's also new riding gear that is now licensed out to Alpine Stars and RI. That's the RI helmet, the XD4 or the XD3, depending on which country you're buying it in. And that's the Alpine Stars Andes 2 Dry Star. It's a complete suit, and there's of course the Alpine Stars boots as well. I'm not sure if these are Alpine Stars or Honda, but I believe these are Alpine Stars. Oh yes, they are Alpine Stars. So weirdly enough, this is the DCT, but you still have the shift pattern printed on there. So when is the Africa Twin coming to India? Well, Honda India is very tight-lipped about it. They don't want to say anything as of now, but I really hope they launch it soon, just the way they did it with the CBR 650R, where they didn't really waste too much time. Within 4 or 5 months, the bike was there in India after its EICMA unveiling. I hope they do the same thing with the new Africa Twin as well. And I really hope that this time around, they also bring the adventure sports version with it.